Welcome to the Leverage Show. Get more from your business and your life. Be sure to share your business questions and challenges with me at leverageshow.com so I can answer them for you on future episodes. So today I want to share with you how you can convert up to 40% of your prospects to customers with webinars. Now, conversion is sort of the lifeblood of all of our businesses, right? You need to be able to get customers. You need to be able to take people from the point that they're interested or they're prospects for what we're offering, and we have to be able to convert them. We have to be able to get them to actually spend money with us to become customers. It's the only way that we can pay the bills, it's the only way that we can grow, and it's the only way that we can make any profit. So it's absolutely vital to your business that you can convert prospects. But it's also a big challenge. You know, for a lot of businesses and for a lot of entrepreneurs, you know, conversion rate and the number of customers they're able to convert from prospects is not always healthy. And so we're always looking for a way, how can we add to the conversion rate? How can we get more people to jump in and buy what we have to offer? And so by using webinars, now you have a couple of choices here. You can add a webinar to your existing sales funnel. If you have a sales process and you already have things in place, and I don't care what that process is, if you are doing, telephone sales, if you are doing online sales, if you have a storefront where people are walking in, you can still add a webinar to your sales funnel to convert a lot more customers, and you can also use it as your funnel. Now, it's particularly good as your funnel if you sell a high-ticket product, because if you don't have an opportunity to demo that product for people, it's difficult to get them to spend the money. Now, you can do this online, and that's what's great about it. So there are a lot of different options, and I'll go through some of that, but I just want to share with you the process for how you do it. I've used webinars in my business for years, and I can tell you that where I came up with the number 40% is from webinars that I've actually done. So I would get a group of prospects and I would get them on, and I would do most of the time a live webinar, but I'll share with you how to do evergreen ones as well, which is just super cool. And I would have all these people on the line, and basically, if you don't know what a webinar is, it's just like an online training session. So you sit at your computer and you can either show people your screen, or you can show people your face if you want to use your camera or whatever. And they're on the other end of the line at their home or business or office or whatever, and they're on the computer, and you can walk them through something in real time, and you can get hundreds of people on all at the same time. And what's great about it is it allows you to present, so you can show slides, like a slideshow. You could show them your screen, so you can walk them through something you're doing on your computer. You can also allow other people to ask questions, so that you can either turn on their microphone where they can ask it in person, or they could type it in the chat box. You can do polls. There's a ton of different things you could do. The bottom line value to a webinar is you're able to build a relationship with your prospects, because it's a two-way communication. When you run an ad and you put an ad in something, whether it's online, offline, whatever, it's one way. You're promoting something and your prospect is seeing it, they're interested or they're not, and that's it. If you are doing a lot of other kinds of media or promotion, again, it's the same thing. But with a webinar, it's interactive. People can ask questions and get answers. So they can raise objections on the call. You can answer those, and you can make the sale at the point of purchase, because they can hear your voice. They can listen to your answers. So they feel connected to you in a way that very little else does if you're not doing an in-person sales presentation for people. So that's basically what a webinar is, and that's why that they work so well. Because you're able to engage, because you're able to present, you can do things that are complicated. You could do things that have a lot of features in ways you could never do in an advertisement. If you want to demonstrate a vacuum and you sell vacuum cleaners, It's going to be difficult to do that on an ad. But if you have a webinar and you're showing people that you're using this vacuum and wow, it's really, pulling up all this dirt. It's the reason infomercials work so well, right? Now, if you sell digital products, it's no different. If you have a digital product and it is a product that has like a members area or something where people need to go in and access the software, again, you could give them a demo account, but you've got to get them to be interested in the first place. With a webinar, you can actually show them the software and show it working. They can see the features. They can see it all in front of them. It makes them much more likely to buy. So here is the process that you want to use for this to work well. First off, you create a basic, simple web page or an invitation form. And that is going to have the purpose and the goal of the webinar. You keep it simple, but you could do a video invite or you could just do a flat page with just a web page. You have a sign-up form for the webinar, and you also have like a headline and some sub-headline with maybe bullet points that summarize what they're going to learn. Now, here's the secret to webinars. You don't make it a sales webinar. You don't say, okay, we're going to show you 10 reasons you want to buy our new widget. What you do is you give them a free education. So if you are selling, for example, in the internet world, a course on search engine optimization, or software that does search engine optimization, what you want to do is put together a webinar, 5 steps to get your website ranked on page 1 of Google, right? So it's connected to what your software does. You're going to show them, in general, the manual or hard way to do what your solution does, the automatic or easy way. So it's the same thing no matter what product or service you're selling. You're going to give them the steps. So then when they come on the webinar, they sign up, and then you hold it on a certain night or day of the week, and then people are going to jump on the call. And what you're going to do is, typically the best way to do this is to create a slideshow in PowerPoint. And you create a handful of slides, and you want to basically give them real content. You tell them, listen, my promise to you is that by the end of this webinar, you are going to know 5 ways to get your site onto page 1 in Google. And so then you go ahead and you go through them. Step 1, you want to make sure that your meta tags on your page and your page title are good. Now, you don't have to give them every detail about how to do it, but you want to tell them what to do. And you want to give them a good enough amount of content. And then you tell them if you follow those steps, that will absolutely work for you. However, it's going to take you a long time to do it. It takes a lot of work, but it absolutely will work if you do it. Now, let's show you an automated way to do this a lot faster and with a lot less effort. Let me introduce to you, SEO 2000 or whatever it is, right? So then you give them the course and you tell them, you get one-on-one coaching calls with me. We do an analysis of your website. We optimize it for you. Or here's the software. You plug it in. It goes, it looks at your websites. It tells you what stuff to fix. So the training part of the webinar, which is always what you want to offer. Don't set up a webinar as a pitch. Set it up as training. The first 3/4 of the webinar, you train them. You give them the free content. The last 25% of the webinar, you show your product, you pitch it, and hopefully either demo it and give them either a price break or a reason to buy it right now. We'll throw in this extra feature. We'll give you $100 off if you buy it within the next 60 minutes from the time the webinar ends. Then at the very end, you open it up for questions. Make sure you give them the link to buy, and you open it up for questions, and you stay on the webinar as long as you need to answer all of those questions. This is really important because those are people that are interested in buying. If they weren't interested, they'd already be gone. If they're asking questions, they want to buy. Give them reasons to buy, answer their questions. Also, chances are anything they're going to ask you, other people have the same question. So you're going to get multiple people that are now ready to buy if you handle those objections. Then when the webinar breaks and it ends, you will be able to record it no matter what software you use, and you can send out a replay to everybody who registered, because you're not going to get 100% show rate. You know, it could be as low as 10%. Sometimes you can get 20, 30% of the people that register that actually show up. But if you kick them out the webinar replay link after the webinar, you'll scoop up a bunch more sales of people that wanted, but they just couldn't attend for some reason. And then here is the golden ticket secret. If you use the right kind of software, or if you just set it up the right way with a general recording, you can actually create evergreen webinars that simulate being live. So you don't need to present it for an hour, 2 or 3 times a week. You can automatically have it run through that, and because you've done it live once, you know what the main questions are. So you can attack those at the end of the webinar, even on a pre-recorded one. It simulates people coming into the webinar. It simulates every aspect of it so it feels authentic and real to everybody, but you don't have to be there live. And then if people have additional questions, they can type them in and they'll come to your email box. This is a great way to automate that income stream. This works excellent for high ticket products. By the way, the 40% conversion rate was on a $500 product. So it wasn't a $10 product that we converted 40%. Now your conversion rate can vary, but again, if you do the webinar well, you'll convert at least 10%. You could do up to 40. I've heard people say they've done 50. I've never seen it myself, but it's still a very healthy conversion rate and very much worth your time if you can get enough people on there. Plus, you're building your relationship because you are educating them. You're giving them free content. They're hearing your voice. It builds a great connection with your prospects. It builds trust. So if you're not using webinars in your business, you should find a way to use it regardless of your price point, regardless of what the product is. Give them free education that leads right into them wanting to buy your product, and then show them, demo the product as easily and as completely as you can to get them excited about it. Give them the offer link, give them a discount or a reason to buy right now, and make sure you get a replay link out to everybody else. Answer everybody's questions, and that right there, in a nutshell, is $1 million webinar training on a 10 or 15 minute podcast episode, because that's what the pros are going to educate you and tell you to do. I know, I've done it myself. I've made thousands and thousands of dollars on webinars, in a 60-minute time. So absolutely start using that in your business. You can just do a web search for webinar software. There's 100 of them out there. Evaluate the features, see what meets your needs best, and go to it. It's worth the time it takes to create a presentation one time by slides and be able to knock it out of the park every time you present it. So remember to like, share, and subscribe to The Leverage Show. And if you have a question or a business challenge, share it with me at leverageshow.com so I can help you out on a future episode. And until next time, make it happen.